Manufacturing in the United States is dying, and jobs for millions of Americans are on the chopping block. We need to talk about aluminum. The supply chain of aluminum has been getting absolutely crushed for decades, especially when it comes to import in the United States, because the massive energy needs that it takes to actually process and refine aluminum that has been outsourced. Now, it is a major component in pretty much every part of manufacturing and industry within the United States, but it's just not cost effective to make here. So if we look at the supply chain, a lot of aluminum is actually mined in Australia. The refining process takes place in either China, the Middle East, or Canada. And when it finally reaches the fence, the border in the United States, it's met with a new 50% flat duty and a 25% tariff on all aluminum derivatives. This has priced out most manufacturers in the United States just because the United States doesn't have the ability to produce as much aluminum as it needs, so it relies on the import. But because of the cost of imported aluminum has gone up so high, it's absolutely devastated the margins of corporations all over the United States, and Wall Street is really panicking. Even Ford is crying out to the President of the United States to withdraw these tariffs or the duties on aluminum, because if you have a Ford F-150 like I do, the key selling point on all the commercials you see is military grade aluminum, which is a joke. But aluminum nonetheless is a major component to automotive manufacturing in the United States. This means that the cost of production of manufacturing, not aluminum, also needs to be reduced, which means that automation needs to be the next play for these corporations if aluminum is going to maintain such a high price to be imported. So that means that millions of jobs around the United States, the automotive industry being one of the largest employers in the United States, well, that entire manufacturing system is under threat right now. We can talk about how it's going to affect Wall Street. We can talk about how it's going to affect the economy, but in reality, it's going to affect Main Street more than anything else. Because these manufacturing facilities, these factories, generally they rely on the poorer working class people. And the Auto Workers Union really doesn't have as much power as maybe it thought it did. Automotive Workers Union does have a lot of power when it comes to election time.
Thank you, President Trump. We got your back. The auto workers are going to support this guy like we did in 16, 20. We're going to do it again in 24. Everybody's going to get out and vote. We're going to vote. 85 million of us are going to vote for this guy. They can't cheat enough to beat him.
But the economy has been so rattled at this point that the economy can't actually be the selling point for the midterm. So the government's going to use this as a cash grab, as always, even if it's temporary. These duties, these tariffs that are being put in place are simply to enrich the government so it can actually continue on with massive military campaigns that are happening in the Middle East and around the world right now as the United States transitions a regular, normal economy to a wartime economy. And I think we need to take this a little more seriously with the automatic enrollment that's happening with people turning 18, so that if a draft is enacted, everyone can be called up. 2027 looks like it's going to have a major impact, or at least it's going to radically change the course of manufacturing in the United States of America. Because as long as this carries on, the fact is you cannot tariff metals into existence. They have to be imported, and those costs, they're going to have to be transferred over to the consumer. That's the only way this actually works, so that the corporations can still be in existence. They can still operate. And of course, this bleeds into every sector because the weaponization of tariffs is only ramped up, even though the Supreme Court struck them down. By looking through the Section 232 tariffs, this gives the president the ability to just unilaterally slap tariffs wherever he likes. And of course, we all know at this point, enough studies come out that over 90% of the burden of the tariffs is actually passed on to the consumer. So this is a direct tax. This is an artificial inflation that's put on the American consumer, at the same time restricting the manufacturing abilities of corporations that employ so many of these consumers that eventually the system is so overweighed by bureaucratic fees, fines, and tariffs that at some point it just has to collapse. And it's really teetering on its edge right now. The reality is the working class in America has been abandoned. And It sounds punchy, it sounds hyperbolic, but you have to actually zoom out and look at what's happening. The harvesting of wealth from the American working class and corporations now to enrich a widening bureaucracy and military-style superstate as it transitions to pursue its imperial goals is what is happening. That is the reality of what's happening in the United States right now. It is completely unhinged, and no normal economy can actually survive off of that. So you're going to see more localized collapses as hiring freezes begin or continue at this point, and jobs are cut and replaced with automation. There's talk constantly about the impact of AI and the disruption to the employment sector when it comes to AI. But there's no solution to what happens to the many millions, the tens of millions, maybe hundreds of millions of Americans who would actually lose their job if the implementation of AI actually takes place. They say it's going to be great for profits, it's going to be great for lifestyle in the United States, but if you don't actually have the ability to earn an income and there's no universal basic income, you're doing away with all corporate taxes, then that money is funneled strictly to the top. It's funneled to the 0.1% of the population and leaves hundreds of millions of Americans to struggle while at the same time they're expected to support the military-industrial complex that has become the state. It's a really interesting situation that America is really turning into, and it's scary for the world, especially as the president has announced this break, this ceasefire has just been a way for the U.S. to reorganize, restock, and prepare itself for the future campaign, whether that be in Iran or whether that be in Cuba, over the constant tensions and the new 100% tariffs being exchanged between Ecuador and Colombia, especially with this president's deep hatred for the Colombian president and military action that's been happening, sponsored by the United States in Ecuador. There is potential for more military movement actually happening from the United States in South America. So we'll keep an eye on this because it doesn't look like there's going to be any change necessarily in positive direction towards the import or production of aluminum, because you can't just revitalize the manufacturing and production, the refining of aluminum in the United States, because it's so cost prohibitive, because our entire energy infrastructure just isn't built to really handle the kind of load that needs, especially with the amount of data centers that are being raised all over the country right now. It's a very strange direction that the United States is moving into, and the lack of recognition by the American public to recognize the dire threat that they're actually in really leads to a very harsh confrontation of two different narratives in the near future. But again, we'll keep an eye on this. Let me know what you think in the comments section. Food for thought as always. Take care.